I've tried a lot of habits and routines over the years, and most of them are useless. But I want to share the ones that I started this year that I'm going to be keeping up because they have had a huge positive impact on my life. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura and I help you live a simpler, happier, more spacious life. And the first habit on this list is something that I have not actually talked about at all yet, but it's one of those that I wish I had started decades ago. It is my Zettelkasten. So earlier in the year I read the book How to Take Smart Notes. Highly recommend if you are a notes nerd like me. I have taken thousands of notes in my time, but I can never find the information I want when I need it. You know, I might know that it's on a particular topic. I might even know what notebook it's in, assuming it is in a notebook and not just on a random piece of paper somewhere. But I generally find that I have to flick through page after page. And sometimes I'm lucky enough to stumble across it. Most of the time, I'm not. And even if I do find it, it's often the case that it's very one-dimensional. You know, it was on a very particular topic written by a certain author with, you know, a certain viewpoint, or it's like just a random note that has no context and nowadays makes absolutely no sense to me. So even when I am lucky enough to find what I'm looking for, it doesn't always work out in the way that I'd hoped. A Zettelkasten, on the other hand, is essentially an indexed and linked catalogue of all of your notes, thoughts, ideas, etc. It's kind of like a Wikipedia that you build yourself based on your own interests. The word itself means slip box, so a box where you put slips of paper like index cards. But even though it started as an analog system, and a lot of people still do the analog version of it, over time it has been adapted by certain people to a more digital format, and that is what I use. Now, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of how to set it up, how it all works, because that is like outside the scope of this video. I can definitely do a separate video on that if you're interested, but be warned, it will be very detailed and very nerdy. But it has helped me to take effective notes on pretty much everything that interests me. So books and articles that I've read, videos I've watched, ideas I've had, of which there are plenty. I can take all of those, put them into one place, and then group them together. It's been really fascinating to see kind of similar threads, similar thoughts and ideas coming from different sources, different viewpoints, maybe even across multiple disciplines. So I might read a book on one topic and come across a great idea, and then read a completely unrelated book on a completely separate topic, even a novel. But there's something in there that connects to something I've previously read. So even though on the face of it, they may not have been similar at all, I would never have thought to look in that area for that idea. Very often you can just come across random ideas in random places. Anyway, listen, I could geek out about it all day. If you have read the book, if you are implementing your own Zettelkasten, please do comment. I would love to geek out with you. But if it's something that you're interested in, I would definitely recommend reading the book. The book itself is not written by the person who created the Zettelkasten method, but it does outline exactly what it is and exactly how to create your own. One of the best things I have done, not just this year, but ever, and like I said, one of those things that I wish I had started so much sooner. Next up is one you'll already know if you've been following me throughout this year, particularly on Instagram, or if you are a member of this channel, because I shared a video on my journey or part of my journey. It is being persistently proactive about my health, and it has come in various different forms. One of them has been advocating for myself in healthcare settings. Being clear with my doctors about what I want, what I'm trying to achieve, what I am feeling, how my body works, what my thoughts and ideas are. When I had my daughter, I was in hospital for a few days. There were various complications, and when I think back on it now, I am filled with regret and rage, honestly, and a whole mixture of feelings about how I was treated and the fact that I didn't speak up for myself. It was a very unfortunate experience that led to investigations. It was just a whole complete mess. But if anything positive came from that, apart from my daughter, it was the realization that even though most doctors are wonderful people, I am the one who has final say on what does or does not happen to me. Because back then I was operating under this mistaken impression that because I was in the hospital, because I was in their house, I had to follow their rules. And that is just not the case. And not only that, but no matter how good a doctor is, no matter how much they listen to you, no matter how much they empathize, no matter how experienced they are, they don't know what it's like to live in my body. When I found a lump in my breast earlier this year, my doctor, who is wonderful, by the way, she's great, nothing bad to say about her, but I went to her and she did a physical exam and she said she could feel nothing out of the ordinary, but I was able to tell her that for me, there was something out of the ordinary. I was only able to do that because I'm much better at advocating for myself now, and I have a better, deeper understanding of my body and how it works. Long story short, it turned out to be a large but thankfully, mercifully benign cyst, and I'm going to be monitored annually as a result. Similarly, I have been dealing with a whole host of other health issues, and plenty of doctors that I have seen have essentially told me to take a wait and see approach. You know, come back in 6 months, come back in 12 months, we'll monitor this and see if it gets worse. But I wasn't happy with that, and I pushed them to do more tests and to investigate certain things and to do certain scans and procedures. And because of one of those procedures, they were able to find and remove pre-cancerous polyps, again, one of which was quite large, and again, I'm going to be monitored annually because of it. I also, because I've been advocating, think I finally have a diagnosis for the chronic pain that I have been feeling for almost a decade now. And that is because I wasn't happy to sit back and take a wait and see approach. It's because I was proactive. I was persistently, doggedly proactive. Listen, it wasn't always fun. I have been poked and prodded, I have been scanned and swabbed and stabbed with needles. I have had bits cut out of me, but I also now have answers. And look, it's not just about healthcare professionals, it's also being proactive with myself. It is testing out different diets, it is exercising more regularly, it's just about looking after me, it's learning about nutrition, it is educating myself and improving myself. Because let's face it, as good as doctors are, at the end of the day, I am the one who is responsible for me and for my health. The book stops here. I have to make sure that I have a good understanding of my body and my mind and a good relationship with them. The next probably seems like such a silly, trivial thing, but it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time and could never really figure out the best way to do it until this year when I finally hit upon the answer. It was about documenting my daily life, or daily vlogging. You know, I journal daily, but I wanted something a little bit more visual that I could look back on. Previously, when I thought of vlogging, I kind of pictured YouTube videos, long form content. And I've tried to do that in the past. There are various vlogs up on this channel, but those types of videos require a lot of effort. Cut to this year, and I was trying to think about how I could create more reels, more TikToks, and it finally hit me that I could create a daily vlog just by taking short little clips, like just a few seconds of my day here and there, and then stitch them all together into a 1-minute vlog. Low effort, low time commitment, but a really wonderful way to capture memories. I started it back in June, and I told myself at the time that I wasn't going to do it every day if I didn't want to. I have done it every single day since, and I have loved it. And now that we're coming to the end of the year, you know, time when I always like to review and reflect and look back on the year, this is going to be a wonderful little video diary of all the things that I got up to. And not only is it just content, you know, for Instagram, but it's also creating a better connection with you. Loads of people have reached out and said that they look forward to watching my vlogs. Like, it has become part of their daily routine. I've even seen some people start their own version because of it. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. Not just that you are making my vlogs part of your day, that you're looking forward to watching them, but that it is inspiring some of you to capture your own memories so that you will have your own little vlogs to look back on. My daughter loves watching them with me. My family back home in Ireland loves watching them. My mother, who has never joined a social network in her life, she's always been kind of very anti-social network, she signed up for Instagram just so she could watch my daily vlogs and, you know, find out what I was getting up to. It's been quite surreal that something so small has turned into something so meaningful. So that is something that I will definitely be keeping up next year. Maybe not every single day, but definitely most days. And I think I'm actually going to start sharing them here on YouTube also as shorts. And listening to music. You know, I read somewhere recently that people tend to stick to the music that they liked in high school, and that is definitely the case for me. I am still listening decades later to the music that I was listening to in school / in my early college years. And I've never wanted to sign up to a music service. Like, I've never signed up for Spotify or anything like that, because I figured, you know, I already have the music that I like. Why would I sign up for extra music? But a few months ago, I stumbled across a deal. It was for a 3-month free trial of Apple Music. So I signed up, and I even made a little note on my calendar for just before the 3 months ran out so that I could cancel it. I do that with every free trial I sign up for. Well, all I can say is that Apple got me good. It creates a station, like kind of like a radio station, that is just for you, based on your preferences, like the music that's already in your library, the music that you've been listening to. It was throwing up gems that I have not heard in decades. And not just that, but music that I would never have thought to listen to. Like, some of it I knew, like I had heard before, but it wouldn't be the type of music that I would actively go out looking for necessarily. Let me give you an example. The other morning I was listening to music and Cher's Jesse James came on. Yeah, I was rocking out to that one. Also Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. All those kind of huge hits, but that were in genres or by artists that I wouldn't necessarily listen to on a regular basis. But I have discovered or rediscovered so many wonderful songs because of this station. I now listen to music first thing in the morning. Let me tell you, it has revolutionized my mornings. I have so much more energy and enthusiasm when I get up now. Like, I stick on my music, I will skip until I get to a really great song, and then yeah, I'm like all in, pumped up. I listen to music while I'm cooking, while I am cleaning. I often have little solo dance parties when I just need a little bit of a break or to shake off some frustration or just kind of pep me up a little bit. I remember now how much I loved music, like in my teens, in my early 20s. I cannot overstate how much of a difference rediscovering my love of music has made to my life, how my daily life is so much better with music in it. But I get that habits can be hard to stick to, so if you're looking for some set it and forget it ideas, things that are really easy to implement but still have a big payoff, then here are some simple but life-changing habits that I have adopted over the years. Until then, go raibh míle maith agaibh, agus feici mé sibh se glua. Slán!